Let's talk about respiratory illnesses. I want to tell you a little bit about asthma because of the treatment for it and how best to use that. Have you ever seen a kid or an adult and they're kind of wheezing? You can hear that noise? That noise? That noise happens because the lung tubes that typically look like this and are nice and open have muscles all around them. And when a child has asthma, those muscles start to tighten down and the lung tubes can get some mucus in them. But mostly with asthma, the muscles of the lung tubes start to tighten down. This is albuterol, Ventolin, salbutamol. It's called a beta agonist, so this one works fast. Have any of you ever used this?
We have seen.
You've seen, okay. So you shake it, then you take the lid off, and then how to make it work is you squeeze this little canister down onto the little plastic thing, and it pushes that white button and releases steam that's full of medicine. Did you see that? Now, if you were a little kid, I'm not going to breathe this in because this is real medicine, but if you were a little kid and you were having trouble breathing and this big of a shot of medicine came out at you, and you're a little kid, you're just going to get a small breath of it, right? So what you want to do, if you can, is grab a plastic bottle. Yet another great use for plastic bottles. This is called a spacer. You can buy a spacer at a pharmacy for like $25, 650 shillings, something like, way more than that. But why do that? We have a plastic bottle, one of my favorite things. And this is something that should already be in the school health officer's office. You can make this in advance. So you don't make it while the child is suffering, you have it at hand, ready at hand. You can make a little hole and put the medicine in here, and then, now I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to breathe in. When the child breathes in the medicine, you want to put this over their nose and mouth, okay, it won't fit mine, and then you squirt the medicine in, and you can feel it hit your face, and do you see it in there still? So the child now can breathe 2 or 3 times, and they'll get all their medicine, okay? So that's how this works, and that's called Ventolin, albuterol, salbutamol. So if your child is having an active asthma attack, you want to look for the medication with the blue cap. And the other thing is that you need them to inhale it all up. So you ask them to blow out as hard as you can, like blowing out your birthday candles. Even bend over. And then when it's time to take the medicine, you're going to squeeze it. Sometimes they can. Have them stand up and breathe in real big. Do you remember our floating lecture where you fill your lungs with air and that lets you float? You're going to fill the lungs with air and medicine. So it's exhale, inhale. And then you want to count to 10 as long as the child can hold their breath. Because the longer they hold their breath, the more time there is for the medicine to be absorbed into those lung airways, the lung tubes, and then relax the spasmed muscles. Okay? So that's how to use albuterol. Prednisolone, since you know about it, is a very effective anti-asthma medicine. It takes a little bit longer to act, and what that does is it reduces the chance that the asthma is going to come back. So this will quickly reduce it, and then the prednisolone is a general anti-inflammatory. So it reduces the inflammation in the lining of the lungs, that's in your book, and this reduces the spasm in the lungs. So prednisolone is a steroid pill. This is one of the only times it's okay to take steroids. This brown cap medicine is also steroids. So the brown cap medicine is not an emergency medicine. This is a maintenance medicine. So if an adult or a child has regular asthma all the time, they are probably using this once a day to prevent needing this, to prevent the muscle spasm. But this is the one that we want to make sure our kids have. It is always a rule to never share medicine, right? Yes. The one time I would make an exception for that is if a child is having an asthma attack and there's a Ventolin nearby and the child doesn't have one. Then you can save their life. So that's the one time that I would share medicine with somebody else, if it's the medicine with the blue label on the bottle. So that is what I wanted to tell you about respiratory conditions. With asthma, which is a spasm of the muscles of the lungs causing them to tighten down, you need to relieve that spasm with the medicine with the blue cap, salbutamol, Ventolin. Inhalation is better than pills. This works within a couple of minutes. Pills take a couple of hours to work. You can give this every 5 minutes as you need to.